Okay, my experience with Bank of America has been absolutely atrocious. As a business owner, I will never ever go back to them. They shut off my account with giving me no reason for it at all, and I would not recommend anybody to open up a business account with Bank of America. We've had a business account with Bank of America for over 2.5 years, and we've also had a personal account with them for over 20 years. We had a mortgage with them, which we never defaulted on, and we actually paid it off. So we have an exemplary record with Bank of America, and in 2017, I moved my business account over to Bank of America because I wanted to have all my accounts in one place. And they set up a business account for me and a merchant account for me. I mean, I run a business that has something like $500,000 turnover a year. I mean, it's only a small business, but it's still a reasonably good business. And on May the 6th, 2019, I get this letter from Bank of America telling me that, and I quote, "After completing a review of your banking relationship with us, we've decided to close your account. We understand this may put you in a challenging situation, so we want to make sure you understand how this change could affect you. Your deposit account will be restricted from use in 50 days and permanently closed 60 days from the date of this notice. Sorry. So I think to begin with, I think this is a hoax because we don't have a bad record. We've never had a bad record with Bank of America ever. So I make an arrangement to go into Bank of America to talk to them about it and say, okay, guys, give me a clue. What have I done wrong? Why is my account being closed? And all I get from Bank of America is they hide behind their disclosure agreement. And the disclosure agreement says, you as a customer have the right to close an account, with no notice with Bank of America, and so do we. We have the right to close your account with giving you some kind of notice, but we don't have to tell you why. And what I'm really pissed about with Bank of America is they won't tell me why. They won't tell me why they just arbitrarily decided to close the account. I mean, for me, with my business, this was like getting a kick in the balls, because we have a merchant account with Bank of America. We take credit cards for our business. We've just had to scramble now to close the business account within the time scale that they set for us and open up another account with another bank. And I'm at a loss to understand why they've done this to me. We need a big bank. I looked at maybe using a credit union because I hear a lot of good stories about local credit unions, but we need a bank that I can go to anywhere in the United States. So we went to Wells Fargo, and I know they've had a few issues over the last year or so, but we've spent a few days with Wells Fargo with one of their personal bankers, and their response has been exemplary. I mean, it has been really, really good, and I think it's because they had a bit of a bad rep in the last 12 months, um, but they we set up a business account, and I've also arranged to transfer my personal account over and our merchant account over, and they have bent over backwards to set this up for me and help me out. So right now I can't fault them at all. I just want I don't want other small business people who have an account with Bank of America to have to go through this shit. I mean, this was just devastating for us. And I what I don't understand is why in this country, because obviously I'm English, I'm not American, right? Why in this country they can get away with this and just not give you any kind of explanation as to why they're cutting you off at the knees. I mean, this just came out of left field for us. We had no idea this was going to happen. My only thought process with this is that if we'd have had a big overdraft with them from a business perspective, or a big outstanding debt on a credit card or something, then they probably would have kept us going. But we don't owe them any money, and I just wonder whether at the when the rubber hits the road here, when they do these audits of business accounts, and they look at them and they say, "Oh, we're not making any money out of this guy. We'll shit can him," and they just do it. They just do it. I've tried several different avenues. I have a personal friend who is also a personal banker with Bank of America, and that person had to find the reason why we're being blackballed, and that person came up against the same brick wall. They just came back at her with the disclosure agreement, and that's a Bank of America employee. So even the people in your local, if you go into your local branch and you ask them why your account is being shut off, all they'll do is they'll talk to corporate, and they'll get exactly the same speech. And it's almost like these guys read off a script. I don't have any expectation from Bank of America at all. I am never crossing their path again. We've already made our arrangements to transfer our personal accounts from Bank of America. If they would do this to me once, they could do it to me again. So if the corporate head of Bank of America came back to me and said, "Oh, Richard, we're really sorry," I would say, "Well, you go away. I just don't want to deal with you anymore. You've caused me a huge amount of grief. You've caused my company a huge amount of grief. I'm going to have to spend the next 2 weeks changing all of my direct debits, all of my auto pays, all of the arrangements I have with my distributors." So, if they came back to me and said, "Oh, it was all a big mistake," I will say, "Well, tough shit." Tough shit.